What's up out there? We are back with some more updates. Now, in the last video, somebody had a great recommendation. I don't know why I didn't even think about this. Hadn't even crossed my mind. But on my caustic arrow build, I have a 5-link chest piece and a 5-link bow. And I hadn't really considered going after 6-link versions of either one. So they said, why don't you just go after the porcupine and chains that bind divination card. So I started working on the chains that bind divination card, and I did a little bit of the porcupine one. So I did get one of the chains that bind complete sets, and I was working on, I basically took my Exsanguinate build, ran a whole bunch of low-level content, tier 1, 2 through 5, somewhere in there. I don't remember what all I was doing. Whatever maps it is, what is it, cells, and I can't remember what they are. Let's see, there's cells is one of them, and cage. Cage is my favorite map for, I think it's cage is my favorite map for chains that bind. I think it also drops on cells. I was looking at that, I ran some cells, and I think one of these other ones over here, I don't remember which one specifically, but I ran a whole bunch of those maps until I got enough div cards to drop that made the chains that bind, which dropped me this here. So this is a 6-link energy shield, was an occultist vestment. So whatever it dropped as, I don't know, I re-rolled everything on here. So it's got some int on it. It's got some increased energy shield, 115 to max life, a little bit of life regen, some lightning res, which my old armor had. And then I put 74% increased energy shield on there because that's kind of, I don't know that was a good idea because I don't really have energy shield. As soon as I run these, as soon as I run Blood Rage, it takes the energy shield off. So that extra energy shield's probably a waste of time. We could probably change that to something else, but like none of this really looked exciting to me. Armor and evasion and stuff like this doesn't even have armor on it. So I could do max life maybe. That'd probably be the more prudent thing. 5 to 8% increased life. That might be the better one to do. But I was looking at this and I was like, oh, there's armor and energy shield and stuff like that. I didn't really want any of these. My thinking was that having more energy shield would be good. But like I said, as soon as I turn Blood Rage on, it kind of breaks that. We could certainly do max life, max mana. That'd probably be a good one to throw on there. And then I have to take which one of these off. Oh, maybe we can't. Maybe we can't. So I don't have enough int for that. Well, that sucks. I guess I just broke my build. Because I'm going to have to figure out another way to get int. Does this have int on here? This does. So I swapped my jewel out. One of my jewels. Which one did I switch out? I got this jewel too. This has got, is this the one? Yeah. So this has got 6% fizz damage over time multiplier, 3% increased cast speed while dual wielding, which I am, 13% increased mana regen, which is whatever, and then 11% increased area damage. So I thought that was good. But now apparently I have to switch back to this one so that I get my little bit of int so I can put that back on. But this gives me, we go from 4,200 to 4,700 max life. We get a little bit more mana on here for whatever that's worth. The life increase is, well, worth it. So, I'll lose a little bit of damage. That's fine. But at any rate, my point is, I got this. So this has got plus 21% critical strike multiplier for spell damage. I don't know that I'm going to keep that implicit. And then it's also got 45% reduced reflected damage taken. I did not have enough, the story of SSF, I did not have enough currency to change that. So I kind of left it where it was. It is what it is. I'll just leave that for now and build up this currency. I also changed out my amulet, which to this talisman, I finally got enough where I could change this out. The reason I changed this one out is it gives me +1 to frenzy charges, 8% chance to gain a frenzy charge on kill, and 8% damage, increased damage per frenzy charge. So we are sitting with a frenzy charge right now. I don't know why I have that sitting there, but I do. And this should generate more frenzy charges, so this should help out in whatever ways it's going to help out, it should help out, hopefully. So anyway, that's on this side. And I don't really have on my tree here, on my passive tree, I'm not taking the node like Iron Reflexes, which converts all evasion to armor. I'm not taking that, so I don't need to worry about, and there's none of these other ones that I'm taking that force me into a specific piece of armor. So I'm going to leave this like it is, and I'm going to reconsider what I do with some of this other stuff. Like, do I want armor and evasion, or do I want maybe armor energy shield or something like that, evasion energy shield? I'm going to see what else drops. I need to adjust my filter, and that's something I really need to spend some time on, because this gives me energy shield too. These gloves do. So anyway, that's enough for this build. Let's go talk about the other builds, because what I did is I got this armor piece here, set it up for this build, and then kicked the armor piece that I had, the body armor here, over to my other build. So let's go check out Caustic Arrow. So on this side of the house, I now have a 6-link, and I recolored. This is the 6-link I had on my Exsanguinate build. I just moved it over here and changed the implicits. I don't believe I changed anything else. So it's got a little bit of life regen, fire and cold res, reflects fizz damage, whatever, 41 max life, 17% increased evasion rating, which is good for this build, and then gain an endurance charge every 15 seconds, which I'm probably going to change out. I'm not necessarily going to keep that. I'll probably swap that implicit out, but I did get that over here, and that's helped out a little bit. I also got somebody else commented and said, I need to work on getting porcupines for this thing. I got sidetracked doing something else, but I'm going to get a 6-link. I do have a 6-link bow. It's just that this 6-link bow sucks. It's very weak. And even though it's got +2 levels of socketed bow gems, this thing does way more damage. Like, this is 54,000 chaos per second. This one here is only 32,000. So even though that's a 6-link with +2 socketed bow gems, this one's got all this damage over time multiplier, and it does so much more damage than this other one. And I mean, it's got extra fizz damage. They're both qualityed up, everything, but the one does so much more fizz damage. And I was going to try to tinker around with this 6-link bow and see if I could change stuff, but I don't I don't have enough essence. I can't remember which one of these essence it was, but one of these essence actually gives you +2 right off the bat. Like, I rolled +2 level of socketed bow gems on this other one. Which one was that? One of these just straight up adds +2 to the bow, which was great. Maybe I don't have any anymore. But one of these just added +2 to socketed bow gems. I must not have any more of them. So anyway, I'm going to try to get a 6-link for the bow, and it's doing what it's doing. I did swap out, somebody else commented that I probably didn't need the frenzy charges on this side with blood rage and all that, so I made some changes. I took blood rage and frenzy out, so instead of that, I now have ensnaring arrow with mana forged and culling strike. So basically, I took I put flame dash back in, unlinked it, and then took what did I have? Blood rage up here. Or not blood rage, frenzy. I had frenzy up here. So I took that out. I took blood rage out, and I put, which one did I put in here? Despair. Because despair is a curse that lowers their chaos resistance, lowers enemy chaos resistance. And one of the things that I got on this implicit was 10% increased despair curse effect. So I get my flame dash back. I get my despair curse back, and I took out the rage stuff. It didn't matter. And on this side, I left life tap. So with life tap in here, I actually see both of these kicking off. And I switched out Caustic Arrow to Toxic Rain of Withering. So instead of running dual Caustic Arrows, I'm now back to what I started with, which is basically Caustic Arrow with Toxic Rain of Withering on Mana Forged Arrows. And I switched out Concentrated Effect to both of these. So it basically makes the pool smaller, but more damaging. The weird thing you get with Path of Building, you put some of this stuff into Path of Building. Like at one point for this specific thing here, for this Caustic Arrow, it was telling me to do like added fire damage or something like that. Like I had some weird setup on here. numerically speaking, that's what did the most damage on POB, but it just didn't work. I don't know. It was kind of ugly and I just didn't like it. So I ended up swapping all that out. So we're now running Toxic Rain. I have not double checked that this is what needs to be, but we've got Toxic Rain of Withering with Mana Forged Arrows so that it fires when my main volley fires. We've got added Chaos, concentrated effect, life tap, and void manipulation. So this does, according to this thing here, is 3,279 chaos damage per second. Modifiers to projectile apply to this skill's damage over time effect. So any projectile damage I get sounds like it affects the damage over time. This fires 8 arrows. It actually goes off. I took life tap off and put something else on, but I noticed it wasn't shooting. So the chains that come down Hellraiser style, that is from Toxic Rain. That's a cosmetic I've got on there. And then you can see the green pools of Caustic Arrow. So basically what this is doing is putting a giant pool of just DJing crap on the ground. I think the intention, this is kind of going back to that original poison build that I had. When I had 2 Caustic Arrow builds going, it was dropping pools all over the place and kind of filling the screen, but I don't think they were overlapping and stacking. So you would get one Caustic Arrow or the other. With this, they both overlap, and they can overlap, and I'm sure that they both can be effective. So when I drop all this, you're getting all of this effect at once. So we'll go run a real quick map here, if I could speak. We'll drop an extra chrome on here. I've been running tier 8 maps so that I could level up. I did get another level onto this, so we're at level 88. And what I put my passive point into was life and mana on hit. So that this gains 4 life per enemy hit with attacks and 2 mana. I was thinking about maybe going into one of these masteries, like 10% of leeches instant, maybe that. I also thought about maybe 100% increased total recovery per second from life, mana, or energy shield leech. I wasn't sure which one of these would be the better one to take. I don't know. We'll look at that here in a bit. Oh, I did not get the thing here. That mirror comes in some weird places sometimes. But I've got my curse back. Oh, don't die. Don't want to like walk out the door and die. So you come in here and you just basically mow everything down and just run along, and stuff dies along the way. What I like about this build, as a recap of why I'm tinkering with this in the first place, is it does not require... the big thing that I like about it, the biggest thing that I like about this is that it does not have totems. I don't have to walk 5 feet, drop a totem, walk 5 feet, drop a totem. Yeah. Shouldn't have stood there. All right. Bad idea. Need to keep moving. Get rid of that. There's too much going on here. But the cool thing about this is you don't have to drop a totem constantly. You're not just wasting your time on that all the time, having to stop and drop it. Oh, yeah, don't want to die on these. And you can drop a Despair Curse. These things are kind of slowing me down a little bit too. But you can drop a Despair Curse on them, hit them with that, move on. Ah, man, I don't know why my mouse never clicks. I don't click hard enough or something. But at any rate, this has been going fairly well. As long as I'm super careful and really paying attention and focusing, I'm not dying that much. I know I don't have much life. I know I need to get better life on this. I get that. That's going to be something I work on. I need to get a lot better gear on this. I have not actually sat and focused on the gearing portion of this yet. I just now got a 6 link to it. I've just started working on some of that stuff. That's just where I'm at with this build. It's not been running any of the highest tier content. I've been using my Exsanguinate build for that. I mean, it's running into its own roadblocks and stuff too, but that's a small map. All right, close enough. Without minus the death, did we get anything good? 6 link Vol Regalia. That'd be cool, whatever that is. But yeah, that's what we're running into here is basically what you just saw. I've been trying to slowly level up. Tier 8 maps seem to be fairly good. That seems to be a good leveling part where I don't die that often. trying to level, I would probably not run Delirium. I would not do expeditions and stuff like that. In fact, I'm running my bossing setup here because this is like the least impactful Atlas tree that I have. I've got my left side one set up with Essence Monsters, Beyond, and Heist and Bestiary. I think I'm going to take this Bestiary off. I haven't sold myself on doing it yet, but these maps get crazy with the amount of stuff that's on there. I thought about taking Delirium, going into Delirium pretty hard, coming out all this Bestiary stuff and just going into Delirium, making it all left side and just going crazy with the quantity. These red monsters that you get from Bestiary are brutal. And I had the node over here, the beasts in your map have a 50% chance to break free. The first time I ran into that, the one monster broke free like 6 or 8 times. Like it just kept breaking free and I'd kill it and it'd break free and I'd kill it and I'd break free. It was sucked. I immediately took that off. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need that kind of thing in my life. So I just don't know that I want to spend all the unmakings to take all this off. But I tried Beyond stuff last league and it kind of sucked. With this league, this seems really good. Like this one, with this one, the Beyond monsters have a 30% more chance for div cards. I don't remember if this was here last league, but there's one for unique items. There's also one for more currency items, basic currency. I think something in here was actually had, not the boss one. Some of this had a chance. Where's the other stuff at? Was it one of these two? 25% increased quantity of tainted currency dropped by Beyond Demons. I feel like some of that's different because maybe it's not. I don't know. But I feel like I'm getting a lot more currency this league than last league. And I actually tried doing Beyond last league with Vol areas because I wanted to try tinkering around with the corrupted stuff. But it just, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. And then for my other tree is the right side one, which is basically all expedition and betrayal and stuff like that. I started going into breach. When I finished off betrayal, I'm going to go put it all into breach so I can work on the breach monster fight or bossing portion of it. But I did finally finish off all of, nope, wanted to press this button. I do have 115 of 115. All my mapping is done. That's taken care of. And I've got, I don't know, I got a couple of these maps favorited on here. I beat something else. This might have been in the last video anyway. But that is where we are. Huge progress going forward. This build's feeling a lot better. I've got a little bit better chest piece on here. I can certainly use a lot better gear because I'm still rocking. Well, this is level 83, but yeah, I guess I'm getting a little better gear on here. But some of the eye level on some of this gear is still atrociously low. Like this amulet probably needs to be swapped out. Like there's so many things I can change out. Vile arrow, or the arrow quiver that I've got. The cool thing about this is it's got a lot of resistance on it, so that's hard to swap out. But I don't know. There's so many other options that I've got, and I need to start working on essence monsters and stuff like that. Gathering up more essence and all that. But anyway, that's what I've gotten up to now. That's where this build is at. It's feeling much better. It's with the changes that I've made, swapping out getting Flame Dash back in, getting Despair back on here. It feels better going and killing things. Getting a 6-link has definitely helped out because I can add concentrated effect or whatever I added to this. I put concentrated effect on this to do a little bit more damage, a little less area of effect, but a little more damage. I'm trying this stuff out, see how it works. In fact, what level are we at? 16. So that's already leveled up quite a bit. None of this is level 20. Oh, that one's level 20. I could throw a quality on that. But anyway, that's where we are today, and that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.